Hello students. Hi, this is Dr. Tithi Banerjee, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering, Swami Vivekananda Institute of Science and Technology. So students, in the previous class, I have described regarding the subject petrology and why it is important in the branches of civil engineering. And I have also discussed about the igneous rocks and its category. Today I will discuss about two other categories of rock in elaboration. So let's start the class. So now we will discuss regarding two other categories of rock. So in the previous class I have discussed that igneous rocks are really very hard, compact and durable rock and which can be used as a very good aggregate. Okay. Now, and I have also discussed regarding its origin. In this session, I will discuss about two other category of rock. One is sedimentary rock and the other is metamorphic rock. So the rock, the entire rock which are exposed on the earth crust and beneath the earth crust, the rocks are categorized into three types of rock. One is igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Now, sedimentary petrology deals with sedimentary rock, study of sedimentary rock, which focuses on the composition and texture of sedimentary rock. Now, what are sedimentary rock and how does it originate? When the igneous rock and the other rock, that is metamorphic rock, which I will discuss in a while, these two categories of rock are generally exposed on the earth's surface. And when these two categories of rock are weathered and eroded by natural agent, that can be river, that can be wind, that can be glacial. Glacier is nothing but a natural agent which is composed of ice. So sedimentary rocks are those which are originated due to weathering and erosion of natural agents, which can be water, which can be wind, which can be glacier. So from the definition of sedimentary rock, we can easily understand that sedimentary rocks are weathered and eroded. So sedimentary rocks are generally fragile and can get easily break down. Okay. So sedimentary rocks cannot be served as good aggregates because it is porous, it is weathered and it is fragile. But the product of sedimentary rock, that is the end product of sedimentary rock, that is sand, which can be used an important component of concrete. Okay. So from the definition we can understand that sedimentary rocks are not at all suitable for any kind of engineering construction. So here are few examples of sedimentary rocks, that is sandstone, shale, limestone. So clay are the end product of weathering of shell. So sometimes clay can be used as binding materials or building materials. and sand, the end product of weathering of sandstone, which can also be used as important ingredients of concrete. So those plays an important role, but the major components of aggregates derived from are generally derived from igneous and metamorphic rock. Now the left hand side photograph depicts a exposure of sandstone, and the the right hand side photograph represents limestones. Okay, and we all know that limestones are the main product for the formation of cement. So sedimentary rocks are also important. Okay, they cannot be used as a good type of aggregates, but they plays an important role in the formation of sand, in the formation of cement, which are key ingredients of a concrete. Okay, so by this way we can decipher that sedimentary rocks also plays an important role for formation of building materials. Now coming to the metamorphic rock, the other category of rock, that is metamorphic rock. So when igneous and sedimentary rock gets transformed due to high pressure and temperature, it forms metamorphic rock. So just like igneous rock, metamorphic rocks are also hard, compact and durable. Okay, so there are few kind of metamorphic rock that are not very much sound for any construction. I will tell those kind of rocks. First I will tell you the hard and stable and durable as well metamorphic rocks. The example of such kind of metamorphic rocks are slate, marble, okay, and gneiss. Okay, these are very good aggregates. These are used in construction also, for any kind of building, its floor, its kitchen, or in case of office also, these kind of metamorphic rocks are used for flooring. So when in one sentence, when the metamorphic rocks when the igneous and sedimentary rocks suffer high pressure and temperature, it can get transformed into metamorphic rocks. Okay, so metamorphic rocks also can be used as a good kind of aggregates. Now this picture, this schematic diagram represents a rock cycle. So what is that? I will explain. Now while explaining the origination of igneous rock in the previous session, I have told you that the igneous rocks are formed due to the crystallization or the solidification of magma. Okay, so magma erupts as lava on the earth crust, and when the lava gets solidifies and crystallized, it forms extrusive igneous rock, and beneath the earth's surface, comparatively in a cooler place, when the magma solidifies, it forms intrusive igneous rock. Okay, now granite is an example of intrusive igneous rock. Okay, and basalt is an example of extrusive igneous rock. Now, after the formation of igneous rock, the igneous rock suffers both weathering and erosional phenomenon by several kind of natural agents, that is water, wind or glacial, and it gets transported and get disintegrated into finer materials. Okay, just disintegrated means it get crushed and it breaks down and it forms finer materials. When the finer materials suffers compaction, okay, suffers. Now what is compaction? When the finer materials accumulated and get squeezed, and then it gets lithified due to the upper and lower layers of soil substrata, it forms sedimentary rock. Okay, now the igneous rocks get disintegrated and forms finer materials. Finer materials can be represented by sand, broken rocks, clay, and when all these finer materials gets accumulated together, suffers compaction. Compaction by what? Compaction and get squeezed. And why it get compacted? Because it suffers pressure from the underlying and overlying soil strata. Okay, and then after compaction it gets lithified and form sedimentary rock. Now, after burial of these finer materials or the sedimentary rocks by burial by underlying and overlying rock strata, it suffers high pressure and temperature, right? And then it transforms into metamorphic rock, and metamorphic rocks are generally coarse grained and very hard and compact and very durable. So now in the previous class also and from this class also, we have derived that both the three categories of rock are equally important for building materials. Okay, and the study of those rocks are also important because prior to construction we need to know where we are constructing. Okay, so that's all student for this class. In the next class we will be discussing the detailed characteristics of this rock, which will be generally physical characteristics to understand its physical attributes. Okay, thank you for listening and thank you for your patience. That's all.